Okay, so these three things are called measures of central tendency. So the mean, median, and the mode. You're probably somewhat familiar with these. The mean, I think you know how to find. You're going to add up the numbers: 7 plus 9 plus 4 plus 3 plus 4 plus 8. Divide by the number of terms. I think there's 6 of them. I'm going to put a decimal point, so I get a decimal, and we get a mean of 5.83 repeating. Median we get from putting the numbers in order first. So make sure you put them in order first. This would be 3, 4, 4, 7, 8, 9. Looks like there's 2 numbers in the middle, 2 on each side. And so what you do is you add up those 2 numbers and divide by 2. So 4 plus 7, divide by 2. I want a decimal, so I'm putting a decimal. So I get a median of 5.5. The mode is the most repeated number. In this case, there are 2 4s, and so 4 is the most repeated. Sometimes some data sets have no mode, or some have multiple modes, so it's possible to have more than one. Okay, this is called a box and whisker plot. To do a box and whisker plot, basically, it's got, so a box and whisker plot has this kind of a look to it. Maybe you've seen one that looks like this. And so you've got some important values on there, like this line is called the median. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There are 15 terms. So I know there's one term, it's an odd number. So there's one term in the middle. Half of 15 is 7.5. So I think the 8th term will be the middle term. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I think this is my median. And there's 7 terms to the left of it and 7 terms to the right of it. So I do know that's the middle term. Another way of just counting out. There's something called Q1, which is kind of like quartile. It stands for quartile 1. So think of it like a quarter, like 25 out of 100. So we're taking the data and splitting it so that 25% is below Q1 and 75% is above Q1. So it's the middle of the middle. So if I take those 7 numbers in the bottom half of the data, find the middle number, that's going to be my Q1. So it's the median of the lower half of the data. Q3 is the right part of the box, and that's quartile 3. Think of like 3 quarters, or 75 cents out of $1. So that's 75% of the data is to the left and 25% of the data is to the right. So it's the median of the upper half of the data. So this would be the middle of the upper half. So Q3 would be 87. This number here is easy. It's this spot number here. It's called the max. So that's called the max. And this number over here is called the min. And on the graph, it's this like endpoint right over there would be the minimum. So the minimum value. Okay, so we're going to use those 5 number summaries. Now you can't sometimes students just start drawing those down the line and put them on there. You need to space this out accordingly so that, this has to be spaced uniformly. So I'm just going to put 0, 10. I need to go up to 100. So 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and 100. And I'm going to plot these 5 points directly above there, not on the number line, but above. So I'm going to put it like maybe this high. So I'm going to say that's the max is 100. 87 would be right about there-ish. So that's the Q3 is 87. 68 would be right about here. So that's my median, which is 68. 52 is right about here, and that's my Q1, which is 52. And then 18, way over here, is my minimum, which is 18. So draw your box goes from Q1 to Q3. The line here is in the box, not necessarily exactly in the middle, it's a little bit to the left there. These connect. If this is an outlier, I would not connect it, but I don't think it is an outlier. Close, but not quite. But this is what a box and whisker plot looks like. Sometimes we call this part the middle 50% of the data. You'll see that sometimes, even on like college websites for the ACT, the middle 50% is talking about Q1 to Q3. So an outlier is a value that's really big or really small compared to the rest of the data set. You can actually calculate. I get these formulas from AP Stat. So it starts with a base of Q3 minus Q1. So let's put this data in order first. So let's get it in order. So I think this would be 56, 59, another 59, 65, 65, 73, and 98. I'm debating. I think 98 might be an outlier, but we're going to test it and see. So we're just going to do Q3 minus Q1. So let's kind of figure out what some of these values are here. So the middle of this data is definitely the 65. That's the median. The middle of the bottom half would be my Q1. Middle of the top half of those three would be my Q3. So it'd be 73 minus 59, which is 14. We have to multiply that by 1.5, so 1.5 IQR. So that's my IQR is 14. That's my interquartile range. That's how big the box is. So that's 14 units long there. So I'm going to multiply by 1.5 and I get 21. So 21 is 1.5 IQR. So this is going to be Q3, which is 73, plus 21, which is 94. And this one's going to be Q1, which is 59, minus 1.5 IQRs, or 21, which is going to be 38. So the lower fence is at 38, right? That's the lower fence. None of our values are smaller than 38, so we don't have outliers on the left-hand side. However, our fence would be right about here, right? Our upper fence is, 94? So 98 is clearly past our upper fence, so this is definitely an outlier. These are called stem and leaf plots. Maybe you've seen these before. The key actually to do this. So the stem is like, so this 5 is before the bar there. See this bar, like this line, this vertical line. So 5 is the stem and 4 is the leaf. And according to this key, the stem and the leaf make a decimal, so 5.4. So like this 4 and this 5 make the number 4.5. When the stem is 4, the leaf part makes it the number 4.5. This 7 is actually the number 4.7. This 9 is the number 4.9. Now the stem is 5, so this is going to be, this number 2 is really 5.2, and this number is 5.4. This is now 6.1, and so forth, right? You got the rest of those 78, or sorry, 7.8, 8.2, 8.2, 8.2, and 8.3. So you could list out all those numbers if you need to. We need to find the median of the data set. So it looks like there are 11 terms in this sequence. So divide by 2, that's 5.5. The sixth term is what I need. I need the sixth term. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is my sixth term, so 6.1 is my median. This equals my median for this data set. Go ahead and make a stem and leaf from this. It's already in order. That's really nice. So you make a stem and leaf. It looks like I need 6, 7, 8, 9. And this one actually is going to have a double-digit stem. The leaf can never be double digits. So this is going to be 8, 2, 3, 3, 6, 1, 2, 2, 2, 8, 9, and 0. That's not full credit because you don't have a key. So you have to have a key. So the key might be something like, okay, 7 bar 2 means the number 72, which means this means the number 72, right? Got it. Last question here. So if you've got 50 consecutive days of sleeping, You can see that Miguel slept longer, like 9.5 at the most or 6 at the least. So he gets kind of in between those two values. I want to, which interval contains the median? So I need to find the median. Well, there's 50 days. So let's see, divide by 2 is 25. So I need the 25th and the 26th. I need to average those two to find the median, right? Find the median. I'm going to take those two terms. So it looks like this first bar that the lowest two amounts of sleep are between 6 and 6.5. There's 2 in that column. There's 9 in this column. So it looks like between the two of these, 11 nights he got less than 7 hours, right? But I don't need the first 11. I need the 25th. So this one's 12. 11 and 12 is 23. So the first 23 nights he got less than 7.5, but I'm looking for the 25th night. So my thought is that's got to be somewhere in here, right? Because 21 plus 23 plus 3 and 4 would definitely be in this one. You could have counted from the other side. 2 and 2 and 11 is 15. So 15 plus 12 is 27. So the first 26, I mean the 25th and 26th term would be in this column between 7.5 and 8, somewhere in that range. That interval would be where it is. And just for fun, let's do the PSAT. Go ahead and stop it and try it. Which one of these changes? So if you put this 10 in there for the 9, that's going to make the mean increase. So I know one will increase, which means it's one of these guys. The median's going to stay the same. Adding a big number doesn't really change. Replacing a big number with another big number doesn't change the median. The middle number still be the same. Mode would still be 7, it looks like, so that doesn't change. So F would have to be the answer here.